If you've been struggling to wake up early, you always hit the snooze button, this video is for you. If you are new here, my name is Denais. I am a therapist based in Dallas, Texas. I am going to share some practical tips on how to become a morning person. So whether you have fallen out of your morning routine or you've actually never had one to begin with, these tips are going to be perfect for you. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. So I will say some of these tips are more to like set the intention of becoming a morning person. I think a lot of us just put the goal of like, I'm going to become a morning person without any preparation. That's why the first tip is so vital. Becoming a morning person starts the night before. In order for you to set yourself up for success, you need to prepare yourself as much as you can the night before. If your nighttime routine is the thing that's always feeling rushed, you don't have enough time to prep for the morning, and therefore in the morning it's the same thing, the same cycle, you're always feeling rushed. So you have to take some time to prepare. And this could be as simple as laying out your clothes, prepping your breakfast, or making just easy breakfast meals, making a to-do list for the next day. This way you'll have fewer decisions to make in the morning. The easier that we make it on ourselves to wake up the next morning. Sometimes I used to dread my morning routine because I knew I had to do all of these things and I'll make all these decisions before I even have to start working. And even that would give me just so much decision fatigue. Now I want to demonstrate, I want to give a clip here of me preparing like the night before. I want to demonstrate how much time it takes because I feel that usually that's the excuse most of my counseling clients make, that they just don't have enough time or energy to get these things done. And granted, these might be people who are struggling with anxiety, depression, burnout, just multiple role stress, right? Multiple roles meaning you're a mom, you work, you're a spouse, you have all of these different responsibilities. All of these things can make it hard. So I do want to be mindful of these things, that when I say this, that when I'm demonstrating how much time it takes for me to do this, that keep that in mind. Like, I'm not someone who has a child, and I think that also can make a big difference in just the way your morning routine. So I hope that you take these tips and take what works best for you if you're a parent, but I do want you to time yourself as well, whether you're a parent, you're not a parent, time yourself how long it's going to take you to, one, get your workout clothes out. That's something part of my morning routine is working out. I make sure that I pick out my morning workout clothes. I even keep my workout clothes where I do my workout. That just makes it so much easier to trigger for me. I also make sure that if I'm going to go into the office, I'll prepare my bag. I'll just make sure that everything, even if it's like, okay, I'm going to use that stuff in the morning, then I'll just keep it next to the bag. So think about that. The closer proximity to the thing, it's a trigger, right? So it's going to make you want to do that thing. So the easier that you can get to trigger your brain to do something, it's going to help when it comes to preparing the night before. It'd be good to just get a piece of paper and write down all the things that you kind of have to do in the morning. Maybe it's, I have to make sure I get ready in the morning, right? So that means the decision is, what am I going to wear? And then I have to make sure that my laptop is charged, right? So then that means that that's something like you need to charge your laptop the night before. So these are things that you can think of, but I want to make sure that it is relevant to you. So make a list of things that have to be done in the morning that could possibly start prepped by the night before. Okay. So then the next thing that I think would be helpful if you're trying to get back into a morning routine is a brain dump the night before. So we can often carry the stress from the day and not capturing what happened or all the things we need to do the next day can leave room for it to simmer in our minds. And I often find that a lot of my clients, I can't shut my brain down. So if a lot of my clients who struggle with anxiety, I struggle with anxiety myself. So I know that the best thing that I could do for myself is do a brain dump of everything that I'm feeling. And a brain dump doesn't have to be like Bridget Jones' diary, where she's talking about her day and going through all of her emotions. It could be just a bullet point of stressed about work, stressed about the project tomorrow, need to schedule a play date, need to start the laundry. It's just a bunch of things to do that you're just brain dumping everything. And then if you have a to-do list, then you could look at that brain dump list and what actually needs to happen the next day so you can prepare yourself for the next day. This brain dump is really just essential to get everything down so that your mind can't shut down. Now, I will say, Some clients have told me that it's hard for them to do the brain dump at night, so I've encouraged them just to do it in the morning, because sometimes in the morning we do get up and we want to do a million things, but we don't set the intention, or we don't really filter through our thoughts, right? So again, you could either do the brain dump the night before or the morning of. Again, it's up to you what works best for you, but brain dumping helps reduce overthinking by clearing your mind of thoughts, worries, and tasks that might keep you awake. Writing things down allows your brain to relax, leading to better sleep quality. Now, how to implement this? Like I said, you want to spend 5 to 10 minutes before bed just jotting down anything on your mind for tomorrow, ideas or concerns. This simple act can help you fall asleep a lot faster, and you'll wake up more refreshed and ready to embrace the morning. So a little tip for this is keep your journal by your nightstand or wherever you're going to sleep. It is so helpful to just, again, that's a trigger. Once you're in bed, you see that notebook, you have a pen available for yourself, and you write all of these things down. Now, tip number 3 is to establish a consistent sleep schedule. So this is going to be so important. It was something that I struggled with a lot, which is trying to fall asleep at the same time. Your body thrives on routine, and so trying to go to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Again, on weekends I do give myself like an hour difference, but that's the only like an hour or 30-minute difference of like sleeping in. It might take you some time to adjust, but consistency is key. So like aiming for 7 to 9 hours of sleep to ensure you're well rested. Again, everyone's needs are going to be very different. Some people just need 7 hours of sleep. Some people do need the whole 9 hours of sleep. So the science behind this is that going to bed and waking up at the same time every day helps stabilize your circadian rhythm, which it makes it easier for you to wake up early and feel alert. So how to implement them? Stick to the same sleep and waking times. Again, even on weekends, consistency reinforces your body's internal clock, making early mornings feel more natural for you. So tip, if you're struggling to fall asleep, try winding down an hour before bed with like calming activities like reading, taking a warm bath, or doing some light stretching. Avoid screens during this time, as the blue light can interfere with your sleep. I always leave my phone in my office, charging in my office or in the living room away from my bed, because I know that if I have it right by my bed, I will use it and scroll. And I've actually been using this app called Jomo, which I recommend. It allows you to set like nighttime routines, screen time restrictions, things like that. And I really recommend it to all my clients. So that's tip number 3, which is establishing a consistent sleep schedule. Now, the thing is, with consistent, that means we have to start somewhere, and that means gradually adjust your wake up time. That is tip number 4. Gradually adjust your wake up time. You're not going to go from 0 to 100. That's what a lot of people struggle with, is they try to identify with this person that they're not yet, right? You're not that morning person yet. You're becoming that morning person. So it's going to take time to establish the habit. So if you're not used to waking up early, don't try to make a drastic change overnight. Instead, gradually adjust your wake up time by 10 to 15 minutes. I think that's like the easiest, every few days. And until you reach your desired wake up time, this helps your body adapt more easily. Now, the science behind it is your body operates on a circadian rhythm, right? So it's a natural 24-hour cycle that regulates your sleep and your wakefulness. So making small gradual adjustments to your bedtime and wake up time allows your circadian rhythm to adapt without causing sleep deprivation, right? So just keep that in mind. How you're going to implement this, you're going to start setting your alarm to 10 to 15 minutes earlier each day until you reach your desired wake up time. Similarly, go to bed at a little early each night to ensure you're getting enough sleep. So if we're waking up 15 minutes earlier, then we're going to bed 15 minutes earlier, right? So that's kind of like the way that I approach it. So be patient with yourself. Creating new habits takes time, and celebrate small victories as you gradually become a morning person. So I love always setting up kind of a reward for myself, whether that is getting a coffee, right? We have these extra 15 minutes. Can we get a coffee, make a nice coffee? Maybe we are always rushed. We never make breakfast. Maybe that's the reward of getting up an extra 15 minutes, right? So having little small rewards always helps. Now, The next tip is create a morning routine you look forward to. I think a lot of the times we can see all of these different, like if this is like your fifth or sixth video of watching morning routines, like I hope that at some point you're going to start implementing, taking action, not just like consuming morning routines, because again, they're all going to be tailored to that specific person. Even if you watch my morning routine, it's going to be tailored to specific to me, to my needs, to what works for me. So one of the best ways to motivate yourself to wake up early is to create a morning routine that you look forward to. So think about activities that make you feel good, whether it's enjoying a cup of coffee, journaling, or doing some gentle stretches, or watching a new show. One of the things I've been doing is watching Pretty Little Liars, and it has 6 seasons. So I kind of assigned that TV show for the morning, and it's something that I look forward to every morning because it's just downtime. Or sometimes I won't watch YouTube until the morning. So again, little things like listening to your favorite podcast, like assign it to that morning. Like that's the thing that you do in the morning, something that you look forward to. Start with small, enjoyable activities and then gradually build your routine. The idea is to create a positive association with waking up early, right? Because if we have a negative association with waking up early, it means like, oh, like it's such a drive, we have to go to work, we have to commute, like all of these things. Like, yeah, you're not going to want to wake up. The morning is not going to be something that's enjoyable for you. So make sure that it's a positive association, not a negative one. So also don't feel like your morning routine, like I said, needs to be jam-packed or aesthetic. Sometimes my favorite morning routines is getting up, getting coffee, journaling, and watching a show, like I said. And there's nothing wrong with that. And if that's what I need in that season. For my moms out there, if you can wake up just a tad bit earlier than your kids to get some time, like some me time for yourself to help you get started, I encourage it. This doesn't mean that you have to do it every day. Like I'm very realistic. Like kids are unpredictable. Like they're just learning, discovering the world, and you're just learning too. If you're a new mom or even when just a new child, like it's every child is different. So I think it might take some time to kind of adjust and figure out what's the best morning routine for you. But just, it doesn't have to be every day. It just has to be a couple of days where you get to have that morning for yourself, a little bit more time on your hands. If you can delegate some morning things to your partner or your spouse to get a load off of you, maybe alternating days where one day they're responsible for the kids, the next day you're responsible for the kids. Again, those are the things that if I had a child, I'd probably try to implement in my life. But I just wanted to be mindful about moms out there because I know a lot of y'all are moms, and I want to make sure that these tips are relevant to you as well. So the next step, or the next tip, I guess, is to avoid the snooze button, which is the hardest thing. The snooze button can be your worst enemy when trying to become a morning person. It's tempting you to get a few extra minutes of sleep, but it's bullshit because you're not going to actually feel rested for those extra minutes. It actually makes you feel more groggy. So instead of trying to get like out of bed as soon as your alarm goes, so instead I want you to try to get out of your bed as soon as the alarm goes off. Place your alarm across the room. That's something that's worked for me in the past if you need to. In the past, I've tried Mel Robbins' trick of procrastination, which is the moment you feel the hesitation to do something, you count down into your head 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then without a second delay, you start doing your task. So I think this is the same thing for waking up early, counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get the F up because I get it. Like I've struggled with it too, but every time I'm struggling and I'm like, I don't want to wake up. I'm just like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 up, and then I do it. So that's just a tip. Again, something else you could do is that had helped me is to splash some water on my face or step outside, like taking Wilson out, which is my dog, to get some fresh air to wake up, just to get some sun. Sometimes the sun isn't even out. So I just want to make sure that I'm just like doing something, like getting up, right? So that's another tip. Now, the next tip is just get moving in the morning. Like, again, this is more about what you want to start in your routine, but you want to start your day with movement. It's a great way to boost your energy levels, kickstart your metabolism, whether it's a full workout, a quick yoga session, or just walk around the block or walking around your kitchen island. I've done that too. Getting your body moving in the morning and will help you feel more awake and ready to take the day. If you're short on time, even just a 10-minute stretch or a light exercise can make a big difference. That's why I got my walking pad. Doesn't mean that you need a walking pad, but one of the things that I like to do on my walking pad is just walk a little bit, because I know and my work requires me to sit down a lot. And so I just need to make sure that if I have movement, I do it in the morning, because it's probably going to be harder for me to motivate myself to do it later. I've also seen people do cozy cardio, which is like they put their walking pad and then they turn on their favorite TV show and again get their walking as they're watching their favorite TV show. I think that's something good too. If you don't have a walking pad, just walk around your living room area. Like, you can make this work. Now, the next tip is to limit caffeine and heavy meals before bed. It's something that I'm still kind of working on, even like trying to take a quick little walk after, because I know there's some days where maybe we have like a very heavy meal and it doesn't digest well and it causes me to disrupt my sleep. So the science behind it is caffeine can stay in your system for several hours. So just it will disrupt you to fall asleep. So heavy meals before bed can also cause discomfort, indigestion, affecting sleep quality. So a way to implement this is avoid caffeine after early afternoon. So something around 1 p.m. That's like my cutoff, and often opt for lighter digestible meals in the evening. Herbal teas like chamomile can be soothing. I've also done peppermint tea has been really helpful, like to consume after you've had a heavy meal. I think that will help. So non-caffeinated alternatives before bed are essential. Now, the next tip is managing your sleep environment. The science behind where we need to have our sleeping environment, it's a sleep-friendly environment, enhances the quality of your sleep. So making it easier to wake up refreshed. This includes factors like room temperature. Again, like at least in Texas, like electricity prices are wild. So I try to keep my room temperature between 69 and 70. Like that's what feels good for me. My husband thinks it's like super cold, but I just get so hot very easily. So 69 to 70 is perfect for me. But again, you decide what works best for you. Even purchasing a fan can be helpful, I've heard. Noise levels, I sometimes use earplugs because when my mind's just racing, it's just like little things, like just like crickets outside of the window, or just like the wind or something will wake me up. Like, I'm such a light sleeper. So when I wear earplugs, I'm down for the count. Like, it has helped my comfort. And then we also don't have a TV in our room. That's just been a decision I've always done since even when I didn't have a partner. I just didn't have a TV in my room. One, I was broke and I could only afford one TV. And so after that, I never needed a TV in my room. How to implement this: keep your bedroom cool, quiet, dark, invest in a comfortable mattress, pillows. I'm still in the hunt for good pillows, so if you have any recommendations, let me know. I don't think my pillow is the best, so I'm trying to find some good ones because I feel the quality of your sleep is so important. I'm a side sleeper, so if you need that, if you have any recommendations, make sure you put them down below. But consider, again, using the earplugs or white noise machine if noise is an issue. I've also opted for a regular alarm clock instead of my phone because I told you my phone, I keep it on the other room. I use Lofty Clock. That could be a little bit more expensive. You can find alarm clocks on Amazon, Walmart, anywhere. You just need a regular alarm clock, and I think that'll be so helpful as well to get you up in the morning and not tempted to use your screens at bedtime. My final thoughts: you might still struggle because you might not be built to wake up early, which don't feel discouraged, but this is more about giving yourself grace as you try to become a morning person. Some people are genetically programmed to go to bed and rise early, and others are just night owls. Morning birds have certain advantages over night owls. New research suggests that even people who wake up early have a lower risk of certain mental health issues. And so it's called your chronotype, which is a biological construct that describes a person's natural sleep wake cycle. How they describe it: you're either a lark or an owl. So people with a lark chronotype wake up early and feel most alert in the morning, and while people with an owl chronotype wake up late and feel most alert in the evening. So chronotype is influenced by genetics, age, sex, environmental cues like light exposure. So it's also driven by a person's personal circadian rhythm or biological clock. So in essence, sometimes society's 9 to 5 work can be hard to follow your natural way of being, right? So being more productive at night, right? So be kind to yourself while you can adjust, and maybe it might take you more effort than most people. I also think, especially my clients who are on medication, like talking to your doctor about your medication and when to take it. Like I know some of my clients who have ADHD, they have to make sure that they take their ADHD medication in the mornings, not so late in the afternoons, or they're going to be super wired. So just keep that in mind. Like same thing for like anxiety medication will make you super sleepy if you take it a little earlier. Like it just depends. So really talk to your provider if you're someone who is taking medication. So in conclusion, becoming a morning person isn't about making huge changes overnight. It's about building habits that support your goals and then help you start the day on the right foot. I hope these tips inspire you to reclaim your mornings and make the most out of your day. If you have any more tips on waking up early, share them in the comments below. If you love videos like this, make sure you consider subscribing to the channel. I will see you in my next video.